We are now at the grave of Garth Brooks.
Troil Garth Brooks. Troil is his first name. He got that from his father. And you may be wondering right now, wait a minute, I don't think Garth Brooks is actually buried there. And you're right, because Garth Brooks is still alive. However, this is where he's going to be buried. His parents are buried next to us. We're going to show you that. We're going to show you his childhood home, and we're going to show you around his hometown here in Yukon, Oklahoma. We cordially invite you to come along for the adventure.
Come along. We are now at an area in the peaceful back part of the cemetery where Garth Brooks' family is buried.
This whole area here is owned by the Brooks family, and there are already members of the family buried here. Actually, the interesting thing is there are 8 headstones here already, but 5 of the headstones don't have a death date on them. That's because those 5 people are still alive. So obviously Garth Brooks, or someone in the family, probably Garth Brooks, has put a lot of money and effort into making sure this is ready when people in the family end up passing away. The only people currently buried are his parents, who are right behind us.
Colleen and Raymond Brooks, July 10th, 1929 through August 6th, 1999. Raymond's January 10th, 1931 through March 6th, 2010.
Something very interesting to me is, although the actual dates are a little bit different, January 10th, March 6th, so you got a 10 and a 6. And then over here, July 10th, August 6th, 10 and a 6. So they were both born on the 10th and both died on the 6th. Different months and different years.
Then they were married on January 27th, 1957.
And there is a picture of Garth's parents, Raymond and Colleen.
Such a sweet picture.
There are 6 other graves in addition to Garth's parents. Therefore, the 6 children his parents had total, both together and from previous relationships.
Directly to the right of Garth's parents is the only other grave with a death date on it. It's the grave of Garth's half-brother, Jerome Paul Schmidl, who passed away in 2006.
Next to him is Betsy Schmidl, Garth's half-sister, who was actually a member of his band for several years. She died of cancer in 2013. It's unknown where she's buried. There is no date of death on her headstone.
The next headstone is Garth's brother, Michael Sean Brooks. He is a retired teacher and principal. Up next is Jim Schmidl. He is a retired teacher and coach. Over here, we have Garth's brother, Kelly Shane Brooks. He is a manager and a banker. We are now walking on the same street that Garth Brooks grew up on.
Think about this. Back, 40-something years ago, probably. I don't know how old Garth is, actually, but probably around 40-something years ago. If you would have been hanging out on this street, you probably would have seen little old Garth riding by on his bicycle, hanging out with his friends, because his house is this one right here. This is the one he grew up in with his parents as a youngster, right here in Yukon, Oklahoma. I wonder if he started to learn to play the guitar or write some songs, perhaps in one of these rooms.
Garth and his family had regular talent nights at this house through the years. Garth had learned to play the guitar and banjo, and of course, you guessed it, he also sang. His sister, Betsy, would play all different kinds of instruments for the talent nights. Garth has said she could play anything with keys and strings. We are now at Garth Brooks' former high school.
Yeah, this is not a high school anymore, but it's still involved with the Yukon Public School System as some kind of enrollment center. Garth Brooks attended here in the 1970s and graduated high school here in 1980. So he used to wander around those halls. Pretty cool.
The song Unanswered Prayers was a true story about a girl he had met here when he was in high school. He really thought she was still the one that got away until he ran into her a couple of years later at a football game. We are currently standing in front of a building that used to be Jock's Hairstyles.
This is a place where Garth and his mom used to come to get their hair cut together. Garth actually became friends with Jock's son. His name was Mickey, and Mickey later became Garth's road manager, so they obviously became lifelong friends. Unfortunately, Jock passed away in January of this year, 2020, and that's why the place has been closed down. But at one point in time, this whole place was covered in Garth Brooks stuff. They used to call it a shrine to Garth Brooks.
Mickey is now a real estate agent in Nashville. Up next on the list is to come and check out the water tower that says Garth Brooks' name on it to let you know that this is his hometown.
Home of Garth Brooks with his signature way up there at the top. Pretty cool. They did this back in 1991. About 1,000 people actually attended the ceremony to dedicate this to Garth Brooks. We hope you enjoyed the video, and be sure to hit the like button, smash the subscribe button, and ring the notification bell so you can come along with us on future adventures.
Come along.